welcome back to the channel. Let's get talking about some GCSEs. So, what is a GCSE? It's literally a waste of shitty 5 years learning shit what you don't use in the future. What does it stand for? Well, I don't know why I'm saying this, but it's the General Certification of Secondary Education. Was it a waste of my time? Hell yeah. I've got to think I can do better things in 5 years. I can write a book, which I've wanted to do for years. Travel the world, again, what I want to do for years. All sorts of I can do with 5 years. But no, in English, practically all countries, you have to do a big examination at the end of secondary education to see if you should advance to college or uni or go to an internship / apprenticeship. People ask, there's always that misconception, do you need them for a good job? No, you really don't. You can literally pop up to a bar and get a job. Yeah, not the best of jobs, but it's bringing that income in. You get what I'm saying? Again, teachers. Yeah, if you wanted to become a teacher, you'd have to pass all the courses with a B or higher. But look at these TAs. Yeah, some of these teaching assistants. Shit out lessons. I'd always have the same one for maths. She didn't know what she was doing. She was just there because that was the only teacher available at the time, and it were a joke. According to uniguide.co.uk, GCSEs, and I quote, are a good indicator for the advanced stages of education. Not really. I got into college via luck because, new law was passed in the UK where you have to do some sort of advanced education, if you like it or not. And if you don't want to, you have to opt out and you have to have a reason, like I say, apprenticeship or internship. I remember one form lesson, teacher said, who's on this list, read out a few names, and we had to give a card and say this is why, and then they'll double check it. Waste of time that, because I like that you have to go to an advanced stage of education, but I don't like that it's forced upon you without reason. I know it's because of Rona, and we lost hours and years of work, but nothing you can do. Do I believe in some GCSEs are useful? Yeah, English and maths, maybe some languages. Again, in quotation marks, because languages are only good if you will use them. Unlike the trilogy of sciences, which you will never use. If you want to become a rocket scientist or engineer, I get it, because then you have to know precise measurements and Newton meters, micrometers, and all that jargon. But if I'm driving the car I just bought, when will I have to know that newtons equals whatever? I can't remember that. I learnt that mitochondria is the power half of the cell. When will I use that? In the pub when some dodgy geezer turns around to me and says, yo bruv, what's the powerhouse of the cell again? When he's off his nut. And I say, yo bruv, got you covered, it's mitochondria, innit? That will never happen in any country, but less so the UK, and we're full of drunks here. So in this video, I'm going to be expressing my thoughts on which GCSEs are useful and which are completely useless. So I do believe quite a few have a level of usefulness, but not as much as the main core GCSEs. So all types of English, all types of maths, and some bits of the science. And what I've listed are the core GCSEs according to the studentroom.com, which is, judging by the name, where the students get their info on exams. But this is the Machiavellian channel. We don't do what others say. I don't count the trilogy of sciences as the core, because they literally barely affect your life as much as English and math. I've been in Set 2 for everything since end of year 8. I've grafted my tits off to get in Set 2. I had big brain, I had mega mind, yeah. I knew my shit. The reason why I'm saying this is because in my GCSEs, which I finished in June, no, not June, I can't remember what they were, but it was a long time ago. I'm pretty sure I failed most of them. I know I finished sciences because I never listened. Maths, I think I've failed, but I'm not sure, because I can say this, but in maths, we didn't have a proper teacher throughout 60% year 11 because, the main math teacher weren't there. We had to we were learning through Zoom. We was writing in the books, yeah, and the teacher was on the screen. like on the whiteboard. Some of the GCSEs I did really try in, like English, grafted my tits off in that lesson. Like, I revised, I listened, I enjoyed each lesson because we had a fun teacher, and I was always motivated to learn in English. Like, I'd be like, the sporty kids are like, let's go, PE, double PE, and I'd be like, let's go, English first period. I'd be buzzing for that, and I was like that for years. And I ain't being sarcastic, I swear down I'm not. What is a boring lesson? History. History's boring. Or history.com/bullshit. Why in the name of the Lord would anyone take that? It's literally a life sentence to a boring teacher who is just doesn't find any like enthusiasm in teaching. Like I did history through 7, 8 and 9 because I didn't choose it for GCSE, so I didn't have to do it in 10 and 11. But I hated it. Some of it was fun, like World War II and the Egyptians. But I think, like, why would you use history to become a historian? I thought all historians died along with the dinosaurs. And they even look like dinosaurs. Have you seen them? They all look like Karens. I do believe all lessons have some pros and cons, but not many. History, I do believe, can be fun, but gets boring super fast. Like, yep, teacher's like, so, World War II fought in 1930 whenever to 1945 was between the Triple Entente and the Triple Alliance, which is wrong. That was World War One, because to prove my point, did not listen in history. I'm pretty sure it's World War One. I don't know. Again, didn't listen. English is fun, but confusing if you don't listen, because like if you're doing like English literature, like Shakespeare, you will not get that if you don't listen. Maths is similar to English, but it's not easy for anyone. If you're like a smart kid, you'll always have that bit like hypotenuse and Pythagoras I cannot get at all. Never have and never will. All sciences are boring, except for when you're doing sick lessons like Bunsen burners, when someone drops a test tube and everyone goes, wait! Like when someone drops a pint in a pub. It's one of them moments you love. Art, here we go. Can't comment on. So literally I got stuff on Laserbeak to tell me what it was like for him, because he does it at GCSE in four words. And he said, tolerable, somewhat interesting, relaxing, or in brackets, not shit. I don't do art no more, but I remember doing it for like 2 years, but not GCSE art. I fully hated it with a strong passion because of the teacher. There was no enthusiasm for learning. I was sat in a weird spot that hurt my back. Just did not respect the teacher. And well, when she left in year 9, I admit it, I celebrated. I was with my mates on a field, singing some weird ass song, just having the time of my life, saying, let's go, art teacher's left. Because no one liked her. And no one likes the current art. Anyway, that's enough of the lessons that were wasted of time. Literally, I'm not going to talk about it again. But mocks. The mocks. I remember maths mocks were always tricks, because I get 70% of them. I get some marks in this first 70%, the first 15 questions, but the rest might as well be Chinese. I couldn't read it, man. Did not have a clue what any of the symbols meant. Like, long division, never learnt it at all. Pythagoras, I got some of it. The hypotenuse, where it's like adjacent, got some of that. Cos, sin and tan, can't remember what that was, but barely got that. So yeah, never learnt things like that. And the fact that they tried to trick us and spice the test up with things none of us understood, it was annoyed quite a lot of people. I was one of them. It was really annoying. And to think about it, it's their paycheck, but it's our education. Like, I believe students, like all students are the future of something. Think about it. When the last generation dies off in about 50 years, our generation, 2005 to 2008, they'll be the future, because again, they'll be the next 50 years, and we'll be like building shit. We'll be changing the world and shit. Mark schemes, yeah, I know it was switching it up again. I mentioned this in a previous video, but the compute in GCSE mark scheme is a con, because say if you got that answer right, but it's not in the mark scheme, you'll still get it wrong, and I know that from, again, personal experience. The question was, what was secondary storage? And I said, storage that isn't mainly used by the computer, which is correct, but it weren't in the mark scheme. So I got that wrong. But again, I rephrased it and got the answer right in the next mock, which was the same one, but with a few added questions. I think it was mainly the teacher's fault, because the teacher hates me. Well, I believe so, because he moved like the guy who sat next to me just to say, yeah, fuck you, we don't care. And right, this is the climax of the video. Before I leave it here, here's a video of me setting fire to an old maths GCSE paper, the one I did not do. So enjoy it. I've been the Machiavellian, and peace out.